Look at this. It looks safe. It feels secure. If you put this in a box under your bed today, and you open that box in 20 years, the bill will still be there. It won't rot. It won't rust. But that creates a dangerous illusion, because while the paper survives, the value dies. You've been told a lie your entire life. Parents, teachers, and banks have all repeated the same mantra: save your money. Cash is king. Play it safe. But while you're playing it safe, your money is burning. Every second you hold cash, you are losing the only thing that actually matters: your time. Most people think going broke happens fast, a bad bet, a market crash, a scam. But the most dangerous way to go broke happens so slowly you don't even notice until it's too late, and it gets worse and funnier. To understand how you're being robbed in plain sight, we need to go back to 1971. Imagine a world where money was actually money. Back then, a dollar was a claim on a specific amount of gold. It was a contract. If you worked hard and saved $10,000, you owned a slice of the economy that couldn't just be diluted by a guy in a suit pressing a button. But then the rules changed. We left the gold standard. Suddenly, money wasn't a store of value, it became a currency. And there is a massive difference. Think of it like battery life on your phone. In the 1950s, the savings account was like a battery that held its charge. Today, your savings account is a battery that leaks 3% of its power every single year, even if you never touch it. In the bank, they're the ones selling you the charger that doesn't work. Here is the official story they sell you. They say, put your money in a high-yield savings account. They tell you that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. If you put $10,000 in a bank at 4% interest, next year you have $10,400. You made $400 for doing absolutely nothing. Congrats, you're a genius. You see the number go up on your banking app, and your brain releases a little hit of dopamine. You feel richer, you feel responsible, you feel like an adult. But that number on the screen is lying to you. Because while your bank gave you 4%, the cost of existence, groceries, rent, insurance, healthcare, went up by 5% or 6%. They said interest would make you rich, but that's not the full truth. Because here's the part they never mention. The game is rigged by something called negative real yield. It sounds boring, it's actually terrifying. It means the speed at which your money grows is mathematically slower than the speed at which your money dies. Let's use an analogy. Imagine you were trying to fill a bucket with water. The bank gives you a spoon to fill it up. That's your interest rate. The government has drilled a hole in the bottom of the bucket. That's inflation. And here is the dirty secret. The government decides how big the hole is. They literally target it. The Federal Reserve has a public mandate to maintain inflation at 2%. Think about that. Their goal is to make sure your money loses value every single year. Why? Because if money keeps its value, you might save it. You might relax. You might stop working so hard. But if money rots, you have to spend it. You have to invest it. You have to keep running on the hamster wheel just to stay in the same place. It's not an accident. It's a design feature. Your savings account isn't a vault. It's an ice cube melting in a warm room. But the craziest part is still coming. So what happens when you ignore this? Let's look at the safe saver. Let's call him Dave. Dave's a good guy. He doesn't buy crypto. He doesn't buy stocks. He keeps $50,000 in cash for emergencies. Dave feels safe. But let's look at the math of safety. If inflation runs at an average of 3%, which is generous historically, in 24 years, Dave's money loses half its purchasing power. He still has $50,000, but it only buys $25,000 worth of stuff. He didn't lose any money. He lost the world around the money. This is called cash drag. It's like rowing a boat upstream. If you stop rowing, investing, and just drift, saving, the current pushes you backward. And recently, the current turned into a waterfall. In 2021 and 2022, we saw inflation hit 8, 9, maybe 10% depending on what you buy. That means in 2 years, cash savers lost nearly 20% of their life's work. Gone. Vaporized. Did the government send you a bill for 20% of your wealth? No. They just printed more money, diluted yours, and stole the value without ever breaking into your house. It is the perfect crime. This is when everything cracked. For decades, saving worked okay. You lost a little, but you survived. But now, with massive government debt, the only way out is to print more money. The hole in the bucket is getting bigger, and your spoon is getting smaller. The era of the safe saver is dead. And this is the part that still affects you today. This decision to devalue currency creates the massive gap between the rich and the poor. And it's not for the reasons you think. Rich people don't have savings accounts. They have debt, and they have assets. When the dollar loses value, the price of assets, houses, stocks, gold, goes up. So if you own a house, you feel like a genius. My house went up $100,000. No, it didn't.
Your house is exactly the same. The roof is older, the paint is paling, your house didn't get better, your money got worse. But the person who doesn't own assets, the person saving cash to buy that house, the finish line just moved further away. Every year you save cash, the house gets more expensive faster than you can save. This is why you feel tired. This is why it feels like you're working harder than your parents but getting less. Because you are. You are playing a game where the points are being manipulated against you.
So what do? First, you have to break the emotional attachment to the number on the screen. Stop viewing a high bank balance as a scoreboard. It's not a scoreboard, it's a melting ice sculpture. You need a liquidity buffer, sure. Keep 3 to 6 months of expenses in cash. That is for safety. But anything beyond that, you are volunteering to be taxed. You have to become an investor, not because you want to get rich quick, but because you refuse to get poor slowly. You need to own things that cannot be printed: real estate, stocks, businesses, commodities, things that require effort to create. Because if you store your life energy in something a government can print trillions of in a second, you've already lost. The question isn't, is investing risky? The real question is, can you afford the guaranteed loss of playing it safe?